My name is Stuart Boyd. I go by the alias Sanchez, and I play competitive Call of Duty for Echo Gaming. My background in competitive Call of Duty is quite long, not as long as others, but I've been around since Black Ops 2. Not one of the most known players in the scene, but I have been grinding for as long as I can remember. As soon as you go competitive, you can't go back. Like, public match just isn't the same. So, yeah, from Black Ops 2 all the way up to Black Ops 4 now. That's me, man. Still going for it. The dream is still there. The World War Two season was a bit up in there from the start because being in the European scene, you don't know whether you're going to get the treatment that the NA side gets. So you're really kind of just waiting to see if you're going to have more than one event, how much you're going to have to put time into, what you've got to work for. So with the World War Two season started, we did get confirmed we had one event. So like that's immediately what everyone was playing for. Went in with the team. That lasted, I want to say, a month. Reasoning for that break-in was because the pro point system kind of took over, and if you didn't play your 5 a day, you weren't sticking around, and it's still a problem today. So that team fell apart. I kind of went in limbo for a bit, tried with some other players, and then about 2 months, I'd say, before the Birmingham event, I-62, one of my friends, Jack, hit me up saying that he was just putting the team together because at that point it was cheaper for us to just play rather than spectate because we're all going to go. So we put this team together, practiced for about a month and a half because, like I said, it was cheaper for us to go playing than spectating. And we head down to the event. We're under the organization Karmic, and we're expecting nothing crazy. We're expecting to either get put down to losers first round, but hopefully make it past a few rounds in losers. And we step up against Revolt in the first round, and I'm pretty sure Revolt, being a former player of Echo, we knew who he was. We knew it was going to be a tough match, but we were confident. We went in. We lost a hard point. It was a close hard point. I think if I stepped up a little bit more, we could have went different. Took the S&D, and then the CTF is where it kind of got crazy. We were up 3-2 with 50 seconds left on Doc's CTF, and this was like we were feeling the pressure at this point. We looked at the clock. We were about to knock Revolt. He's known in the scene. He was at LCQs for the World War Two champs. So we're thinking we're about to knock Revolt down to losers here in the first round and outdo what everyone's thinking. One thing led to another. Mistakes were made. Game ended not the way we wanted. Went down to losers, but we weren't disappointed. We were super surprised with ourselves. Like I said, I had a sly feeling the whole time that we were going to surprise ourselves, and we did. I wasn't too upset about the loss because the fact that we took it to him, and we knew if we can take it to someone like that in the first round of winners, then we should be able to get through a couple of rounds losers. And that's really how the tournament went. We got through the first round of losers, and then we ended up playing Louis CM's team, which was the appearance of Dylan Codd. No one knew who he was, and then boom, Birmingham happens, and this kid just goes crazy, and then before you know it, he's playing at champs. So it was a good season, but now going into Black Ops 4 with the players that I've got, I'm really confident that this year's going to be a turning point for us and a turning point for Echo, and it's going to be a good one.
So, predictions for the year?
Predictions for the year, I'm hoping that we have one big CWL event, and then the smaller companies back in the days step back up and give us more than one event. But if there's only one event, there's nothing I can do about that. We'll commit and grind for that event, and all the online leagues and online tournaments and everything to do with online, we're looking to go and play and do our best in and just represent the org in the best way we can possible. Right, so the split between pros and amateurs at events, I think, is something that's been needing to happen for a long time, because you could go into an open event and match up with, like, for Birmingham, for instance, in World War Two, we had the likes of Censor, Lightning Pandas, Parasite. We had a lot of big names in our open bracket. So if you're thinking of making it to pools, you need to make it past these professional players that are in the open amateur bracket. So the fact that they're splitting them up, it gives amateurs that like kind of feeling of wanting it more, because they know they don't have to come up against these massive hurdles, even though eventually they will if they make it out of their side of the bracket, or the amateur side. You know that you're going to have to play the pros, but it gives you that opportunity to kind of cement your name that in the amateur scene, that you're going to be the next couple of players to make that step, that transition to the pro scene. And with the split, I think that's going to really help amateur teams, and it will give more amateur players and more organisations a kind of will to push them more, because there's that more realistic option of your team making out of their side of the bracket.
How do you think 5v5 is going to change it? I had to get that question.
Nah, 5v5. I'm not fully against it. Like with the lead up, I was nervous. I think it was one of those ones where you're so comfortable with 4v4. It's always been 4v4. You can't really imagine it being anything other than 4v4. And then they hit you, it's 5v5. With the way the beta felt, like the multiplayer beta, like 5v5 worked well. The maps were designed well for 5v5. The only thing that I think is going to be challenging is Hardpoint isn't really a 5v5 type of game mode. So whether they're going to bring in like Control and maybe play Control and CTF, or whether they keep Hardpoint in, it will be an absolute crazy match because you've got 10 people on the map. But I think it'll be a good thing for Call of Duty for like the public side to maybe start watching competitive and give us that viewership that we've been needing. And obviously, it just adds more diversity to the game having that fifth player. Like there'll be more challenges. There'll just be a more well-rounded competitive game. I feel with 5v5, especially Search and Destroy. Search and Destroy is gonna be phenomenal next year. It's gonna be like watching. It's gonna be like watching CS on console. To be honest, like imagine the 1v5 clutches. It's gonna be crazy.